Hello and welcome back to Legends of Arcadia Genesis Reboot Part 3. We are just about to step into some nasty combat. So you have been following Zephyr the Magnificent to the back, claiming that something has gone wrong with the animals that he's captured in the local area. And you arrive at this scene to see leopards burst from their pens, have torn apart the handlers, as well as the strange creature of the well, it's an owlbear. Everyone knows what it is. That has also broken free. They are enraged, and you can all tell that there is some kind of malevolence to them. They are rampaging, as it were. They turn to you, low growls in their throat. Everyone, let us roll some initiative.
Zephyr, you fool. I think my puppers should just go on the same initiative as me, or should I roll a separate dog pack initiative?
I want them to go on the same initiative as you. I don't know if that's the actual ruling of how it works, but I like it better that way.
Slow to act. I think this first round I'm going to attempt to calm animals. Probably, okay. I think I can only target one around, and we'll see if it actually works on the enraged leopards.
All right.
If I cast a spell that takes the entire round, then I go at the very end anyways, right? Is that how it works?
Yeah, that is essentially how it works. If you have a one-round spell, you start casting it on your turn, it finishes the end of the round.
All right. So I'm just going to roll in with my scimitar to just be in there, and then just put like a 20 or some shit.
Okay, that works for me. That works for me.
That was actually an attack roll, never mind. I'm working on it, Greg. I'll get it. So at some point today, I'll
You'll get it at some point. All right. All right, you are in there.
There we go.
And with a 20, we will put this in ascending order. Nomon, you are almost first to act, but Zephyr races forward, incanting as he goes. You see rings upon his fingers begin to glow, and he chants out, "Chains of binding, wrap this creature now!" And you see a magical spell go off around the owlbear. Binds of gold race out of the ground and attempt to snag it. The creature fails its save, and you see it held tight. He turns back to the party. "I can only hold it for so long. Please deal with the others." And Norman, it is your turn after seeing this. What do you do?
Well, I suspect that maybe there's something more going on, and there's a reason why these animals are enraged. Knowing how kind of useless I am at fighting, what I will do is try and slip into the shadows. So I can't see the whole map here, but what I want to do is like use my move and maybe like hide like behind these boxes or maybe under this tent.
Sure.
I want to try and sneak around on the next round and get to maybe the cage where the owlbear is and see what's going on over there.
All right, you begin sneaking your way across, hiding and ducking behind some boxes. The Panthers are next to move, and they are enraged. The first one does not notice you racing by, or perhaps it doesn't care, and it will leap over and attack the mage to the best of its abilities. It rolls at +3 with a 9, unable to strike the mage with its claws in its first attempt. A 13 with its bite will, however, strike the mage, dealing some amount of damage. It wounds him. You see blood fly from the mage, but he holds strong, still like keeping his binds upon the owlbear in front. This creature here smells doggo. It wants your doggo, Rook. It leaps at it with its mighty claws. It will score an 8 against the dog's AC, and then attempts to bite at it with its jaws, this time with an 18.
Gets the dog.
All right, you take 6 points of damage, Mr. Doggo. The leopard's bite ripping into it. It yelps. This one.
Say that again. You said 6.
6 points of damage, yes, on the dog right up here in front. This panther will leap over here towards, I believe that's Rook, and it will attempt to slash at you with its
The left is Koibu. The middle
me.
one is Rook, I think.
No, the left is me.
The left is you. Okay. Ren, you are being attacked first with an 8, and then an 18 with the bite.
18 is a hit, so my spell fizzles as well.
Your spell fizzles as it bites down for 1 point of damage with its mighty jaws.
All right.
This one will also come your way since you are closest to it. It attacks with its claws with a 7. And a 9. The Panthers roll like ass and are unable to hurt you. Rook, you see your dog being mauled in front of you. What do?
I'm going to attempt to calm the creature. So I'll use my ranger ability. And
Does your ranger ability work in the middle of combat? Is that a thing? I know that the bard abilities did not, and I have not read up on the ranger recently.
Sorry, can you say that again?
Do the ranger abilities function in combat? Like if you are in combat with a creature, can you calm it, or is it an outside of combat ability?
I think I can do it in. It will shift the reaction. It can. I think it can be used in combat.
Okay, I'll let you. Which panther would you like to charm? The one that's, or would you like to try to neutralize?
I guess this one.
Okay,
right
the one that had to bit your friend next to you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The creature
so
will make
saving throw versus rods at -1.
It takes -1 from your ranger ability, but it is going to get a bonus as well of +2 against your roll for its craze. The 12, I believe, will fail, actually. Yeah, definitely does. You see...
So all it does is shift its reaction. So if it was hostile, it will switch it to threatening. But if it's under the influence of a spell, this might not work at all. So I was kind of trying to gauge if, like...
Okay.
This would have an effect, or if these are like magically enraged beasts.
You see your efforts to calm the creature working in its eyes momentarily. Like they clear up. It like shakes its head in that way that cats do, and they're like a little surprised.
Good kitty, and I like reach out and scratch.
And as you reach out, it suddenly like has its eyes red and deepen. You become aware as they are this close to you, and you're attempting to calm this creature of a like strange rash that is growing upon the creature. It seems like it is in pained and enraged, and your efforts to calm it eventually are broken. It snaps at your hand, and it seems to go back into its combative nature. The owlbear is held by ropes. It attempts to break free.
Let me roll 3 doggo attacks real quick.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. 3 doggo attacks. Go.
Yeah, the one that was attacking the doggos, the dogs defend themselves. Maybe I should eventually just do over bears, but oh god, they're
the AC of the leopards is naturally 14, but they are
I think
pinned,
the
so
third
they have AC
one
12.
The third one does hit.
Okay.
For 6 damage, as the 3 dogs, the
for
2 dogs go to
6
defend their
damage.
friend.
All right, your dog rips into the flesh of the creature, biting and ripping. Blood flies on the ground. It seems to take a toll on the creature. It weakens considerably. The owlbear continues to rip and tear and try to break free of the ropes binding it. It does not this turn. Koibu, you see this going down in front of you. What do?
Did Ren let us know about the less spell being cast?
I messed up.
There's no spell being cast. I was interrupted, so you wouldn't have known. I don't think I would have announced what I'm doing anyways, so there's nothing happening.
Ryan?
I clicked the button one too many times. I didn't actually hit.
Okay.
There's only 3 dogs that should.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Then scratch that. This
no
panther's
damage.
doing fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he's got dogs all over it, but.
This gnome is pairing up with this panther thingy over here.
Correct.
Not too concerned about the gnome. We already have a gnome. We don't need a second one. So I want to try a maneuver like this. I want to like skirt around the edges of these guys.
Okay, absolutely.
Is that possible?
They seem very single-mindedly. They act like in an enraged manner, not paying attention to whatever is not in their sights.
All right. Well, Koibu the mage will draw his long sword, smash it against the chainmail on his chest to try and get the Panther's attention from behind them, and launch his first attack at them from behind.
First attack.
Yeah. It is a 10 plus 2 for back attack.
12 is enough to meet their weakened AC. Your sword just catches it in the haunches, cutting deeply.
I will do damage. I will punch it.
2 damage. The beast begins to bleed on the ground, but is still in full fighting fitness.
Excellent. That is the end of my turn.
All right. Ren, you were casting a spell and were bitten. Your spell fizzles. Do you take any other action?
Nope.
All right. Let us roll into initiative yet again. We have... Ooh. This thing will go at 7. And these will go at 13. All right, everybody in?
Yep.
Looks like it. All right, the first to react are the Panthers. This Panther here is going to attempt to maul the gnome again. With a natural 2 on the die, a natural 3 on the die. This Panther is unable to kill this gnome, shockingly. This here is going to keep fighting the dogs. The dog that bit it now gets its ire. It
No dog bit it.
shifts. Oh, right,
it
no
hasn't
dog
bitten
bit it. It continues biting the one it's biting then. With a 13 on the die, I don't think that hits your dog.
No, 14. Nice.
All right, or a 13 combined. But the 18 it bites once again down on your dog for 4 points of damage.
Unconscious.
Down but not dead. Yeah,
All right.
0.
The dog falls, gets shaken and thrown away. This one was hit by Koibu, so it will turn to face you and will unleash claw and bite attacks at you with a natural 20 on its claw attack.
That will do it.
All right. It is a modified 23. Does that crit you?
That clears my AC by 5.
All right.
luck, Neal.
You will
Goodbye,
take.
everyone.
Oh well, you only take 5 points of damage from the claw. And it reacts with a bite follow-up with a modified 11. That's not gonna get it done.
No.
All right. The final Panther will make bites at Ren.
So the soothing of the beast was temporary. Is that what we were saying?
Soothing of the beast was temporary.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? This one was soothed. I'll give it 1 round off. It's doing all the things I
it bit
described.
last round. So this round
it did all the things I described, clearing its head, shaking it, then kind of returning to its anger. It will attack next round.
Okay. Rook will say these creatures are magically enraged. They're bewitched. Look at their eyes.
Excellent.
It's not their fault.
Nomon, you're behind these crates watching this go down. You hear the cries of your allies. What do?
Yeah, well, I hear him say that magically enchanted. This further inspires me to. Unfortunately, I haven't seen the rush, which I think if I saw the rush might incline me to fight. But how high are these boxes here? Can I climb up here?
Oh man, they're big boxes for you. They're like 4 feet tall, but I think you can do it.
I've got climb walls, so I think I don't know if this is just artistic, but I want to score over to this open crate and like take a look inside. See if there's anything
You
weird
look
going
inside
on
the
there.
open crate and you find what appears to be feed. This is a crate full of animal feed.
I pick some up in my hand. Does it look odd in any way?
It looks like ground barley and like meat, right? Like the intestines or the offal of a creature ground together with barley to form this kind of like feed for the creatures.
Okay. I've got more movement, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I want to just keep moving to the owl there. So 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40.
Mm-hmm.
I go up to here.
All right. You see the owlbear straining against these golden ropes that Zephyr has cast against it. Excellent. That's your turn. Roop, you are in... Well, I guess you're not necessarily in combat. You're watching your dogs fight. What do you do?
Yeah, I think while this one that I attempted to calm is distracted, I'll back away and go to the aid of the dogs.
Absolutely.
And we will try to bring this cat down. I suppose I feel a little bad, but hurt my dog.
It did.
So
It's gonna die.
it's gonna die. Oh, that is a critical miss, but we don't. Okay, so the first. Oh my God, 1 point of damage.
Nice rolls, right?
Double dogs. Okay, one dog hits. 8
Oh!
points.
8 points of damage. Okay, it rips and tears at this leopard. The leopard still has some HP left after you rip and tear at it, but it is bloodied and looks worse for the wear.
You're missing a dog attack, right, Brian? Yeah, you did
No,
one.
two. Yep, one dog is down.
2 dog attacks
Oh,
in his
yeah,
attack.
sorry.
The other dog
Yeah,
is limp on the ground in front.
How sad.
All right. Koibu, one of these leopards is whipped around to face you and is clawed through your armor. What do you do?
I will attempt to remove its whiskers from its body via its neck.
Absolutely. A close shave for the creature, always appreciated.
Hopefully not too accurate of a shave, though. Hopefully it's accurate just to the...
The 11 does not hit their low AC of 12. Any +1s here? +1 for flanking with Ren, perhaps?
If you want to give that a +1, I will take that +1.
I will take it. Go ahead. You
Huzzah!
barely nick it once again. For 5 points of damage with your previous 1. Does 6. It is bloodied and injured, but continues the fight.
Okay. I guess I will keep my move. I will move just a little bit closer, so if any of these creatures does anything weird, tries to run or
Previous
anything,
2, excuse me.
I'll hopefully be able to give it a attack of opportunity, and I'll end my turn here.
All right, excellent. The owlbear strains against its bonds, Goemon. You see it ripping and tearing.
Oh God, please don't get out.
Not succeeding against its bonds this turn.
Okay.
Ren, what do you do?
So did you say it's a rash or it's a growth that these cats have?
It's hard to tell in the midst of battle, but there's definitely a rash-like thing spreading across their body.
Do I see that on the
Red
owlbear
and
as
raw.
well?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
Right, and is it like covering their entire body, or is it like how much of a?
It's
how big is
large.
it?
There's a large portion of their body has it, but it is not covering the entirety of their body. Seems
Right. Okay. Which one
the
of
dice
these?
say about a third of their body is covered. In
Okay.
this.
Which ones of these is more injured of the 2 in front of me?
This one on the far left is.
Okay.
Well, actually, the most injured is the one by the dogs, but next to you.
No,
is
these
this
2
one.
on the left is what I said. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Do I get back attack or flanking from where I am?
You can take black attack. It has its back to
Okay.
you specifically.
Oh, that's probably still a miss with the back attack.
The 11 is a +2 with black attack, right? 13.
Yeah.
That'll hit.
Okay. 4 damage.
4, 2, 6 is 8, and 4 is 12. The creature dies. You slash into it with your scimitar, slicing it through its spine, and it just drops and falls to the ground in front of you. And this gnome here continues his attempts to hold the creature. You see the glowing rings in his hands as he maintains his concentration through the end of the round. Let us roll into initiative once again. All right.
Sorry, I just need to look something up real quick.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right, I've got a Rook and a Neal and a Nomon. Ren, what do you got?
Trying to figure out how does it work if I use a proficiency. Like if I try to, for example, if I try to heal Koibu with my healing proficiency for the 1d3, I can circle around and crawl over this corpse. Does it get like an OA for that in 2e?
If you crawl over
standing
the
next to him.
corpse and you stay in its threat range, I'm gonna say no.
Okay,
But
then I'm going to
Did
roll that,
Koibu
I
take
guess.
damage last round?
This one.
Koibu did not take damage
Yeah,
last
you
round.
can only
Yeah.
heal the round after.
Oh, I thought
That is
he
true.
took it in this one that just happened. No?
He
Yeah,
took it the round
Was it before that?
Yeah.
He might
Yeah.
take it again.
No, it's fine. I'll just stab it with a scimitar. It's okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll initiative for that. If it ever showed up.
All
Nice.
right. The first
wait.
act is.
You haven't got a speed attached to that roll, FA.
It's just not sorted. There's a 6 on the bottom.
There we go. The first act is Rook. Since your name comes before Ren in the alphabet. What do you
Nick
do?
was saying Ren rolled a 6, but she doesn't have a weapon.
I know, but I put it in. Yeah, just put a.
So it should be
Oh,
12.
which is a
right?
It should be
Scimitar.
12. Yeah, you're correct.
Then
Let's
I'll
do
put it
the
on the right
dog.
thing.
Yeah, let's do the dogs first.
That
All right.
hits.
The dog hits.
Yeah, they might have flanking or something. I don't think they're smart enough to. Well, one misses. Oops.
One misses,
That's
but the
6.
6 points of damage the dogs tear into this creature, violently ripping the flesh off of its bones. Blood flies everywhere, and it lies dead beneath your dog's onslaught.
Does it look like Koibu and Ren have this thing handled? Probably not, huh?
I mean, handle is a broad
all
term
sort
at
of.
this moment.
Help the magnificent gnome. He's gonna
Yeah.
die. He's the one
he-
holding the owlbear.
He deserves this. Are you kidding?
Okay, well.
I tried to capture these poor creatures. He's the only
Yeah.
reason we're being attacked in the first place.
Yeah, had it coming.
I
suppose you're right.
will circle around and put down this poor rabid.
All
See
right.
yourself in this gnome
You
that no one
take
cares
a
about,
back
Nick.
attack, and
Yeah, so that's
the
a
16
hit.
will hit.
And a miss. God, what is with all these ones?
3
Oh my
points
God.
of
No,
damage.
3 points of damage.
Oh, okay. For 3
I've
points
got.
of damage.
I'm dual wielding long swords because.
Oh, I see. That's why. All right, my bad.
Because I don't know. Because Dungeons and Dragons.
All right, your dogs pull apart one of the panthers in front of your eyes. You wheel around, deal some damage to the back of this one. This panther here is going to. It's only been hit by you recently, so that is who it will turn to fight. It whips around at you, Rook, and will rise up with its mighty claws with a 7. And it will attempt to bite you with a 20.
That hits.
That hits. All right. You take from the bite 3 points of damage as it tears into your flesh. And this one here is going to attempt to kill this gnome. Finally hitting with a very nice 20. Its claws rip into the gnome for 3 points of damage. And then its bite also hits the gnome for maximum damage. Combined, the gnome dies.
Oh,
A
no.
cry of pain. You see the gold
Oh, no.
binds on this dissipate. The owlbear is freed. Koibu, you see this happen in front of you. What do you do?
The gnome is not my problem. We have a backup gnome already. The owlbear is near the backup gnome, so this is just kind of fine for the current moment. I'm going to try and put this big cat down, put it to sleep, and then I will move on with my life.
All right.
Arming sword attack, huzzah! I finally...
1 point of damage. Hey!
Finally, poke it with the pointy end.
Those of us with arming swords or long swords realize that they're pointless. We should all be wielding spears. It was a mistake.
No, man.
All
The
right.
owlbear, freed of magic
Yeah,
from its magical
I'm
binds, stares you down. What do you do?
I'm looking at the owlbear. I'm analyzing its rash, right? I'm trying to work out what's up with it. When I hear a cry from my gnomish friend behind me, and I look back to the owlbear to see its golden chains evaporate. And I quickly leap onto these barrels and then make a leap onto the top of the cage. I know it's going to be hard, but I try and
All right.
jump up here and balance on the top of this, hoping that the owlbear can't get me.
What skill do you have to let you leap onto the cage like this? How trained are you in this?
Well, I am a thief, right? I've got 16 dex. I have the tumbling proficiency.
All right. As a thief, I will allow you your choice. You can make a climb walls check, or you can make a tumbling proficiency check to reach the top of this safely.
I will make a tumbling. Let's go.
Okay.
A 23.
A 23. Your tumbling check works. You do a flip and twirl, landing on the top of the cage like an acrobat.
Damn right. And then, if I can still, I roll initiative for sling, so I pull out my sling and attempt to throw a sling bullet at this owlbear.
Seems like a lot to throw a sling bullet, but I'll allow it.
Oh, you'll allow it? All right. Well, it's my first attack.
I'm very nice like that. Remember.
Okay.
That sounded vaguely threatening, the way that you phrased that.
The 18 hits the owlbear. Go ahead and roll me some damage.
And a sling bullet against an owlbear does d6 plus 1, right?
A sling bullet against a large-sized creature. Yes, d6 plus 1.
5 damage.
5 points of damage against the owlbear. All right. The owlbear screams at you in its strange eagle-like voice. Ren, you are facing down the back of this panther. What do you do?
Attacking the panther.
Right.
For
14
16?
hits. 16 also hits.
8 damage.
For 8 damage, your scimitar cleaves through the creature, slaying it in its place. It falls dead at your feet. What do you do?
Well, I can still move. So, how far up is the gnome? Like, I'm looking over and I see the gnome on top of the cage with the sling, right? And the owlbear underneath. If the owlbear stands on its hind legs, can it reach the gnome, or is he like fine? You know?
The owlbear, if it stood on its hind legs, might be able to reach the gnome, but it would be quite a reach. It looks like the gnome might be pretty safe if he were to step back to the middle of the cage.
Okay, because then I'm just gonna walk over here, and you know, try to.
All right.
Get into melee with this one.
The owlbear flies into a rage and attempts to reach you. It stands on its hind legs, slapping at you, but Ren's intuition was correct. It cannot reach you on top of the cage, and instead, you see the owlbear grip it with its clawed, talon bear paws and begin to shake the cage.
Oh, no.
It is doing its best to knock you off the cage. It is not a very good strength check by the owlbear, in fact. So this time you see this happening, but no rolls needed on your end. Okay. That brings us to the end of the round. Let's get some initiatives, please.
I technically have an end of round attack.
You have an end of round attack? Okay.
Yeah, however, there's nothing in range. I don't know if I can move 30 feet between attacks or if it...
I don't mind you splitting up your movement. I think that's a fun way to play.
I haven't moved at all. So
yeah, so go for it.
So I'll go over here and make an attack. I am an expert with my sword.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter.
No, you miss, unfortunately. All right, initiative, please.
I'm an expert. Oh, nope, never mind.
The Panthers go at... All right, I see 11, 8, 12, 7. Yes, they're all in there. So, first to move, Rook. You have moved over to this Panther. What do you do?
Let's bring it down.
All right.
I can already see that this combat is just going to be Rook rolling like 5 attacks around. But good thing I'm very fast at mashing dice. So I will make double attack for myself and double attack for the doggos, and we'll just roll a lot of dice.
Both of those hits for your
and probably kill this. Oh yeah,
dog hits. The dog hits. Everything hits.
Everything hits. 7.
Oh god.
Plus, that's really bad actually. 7 plus 4 is 11 total
that damage though. Fucking hell, Ryan.
7, 9, 11. Is... Oh, it's enough to kill this one.
11.
This one dies to your onslaught of dogs and swords.
Nice.
Excellent.
All right.
No, Mon. You're on top of this cage. The bear is trying to knock it down or knock you off of it. What do you do?
I reach into my... In fact, I don't. I wave my hands around and I mutter the arcane words to cast Mirror Image. And there are now 6 of them.
Nice.
There are now 6 of you standing atop this cage here.
And I mean, and if I can, after I cast the spell, I guess I will like move towards the center a little bit here.
Sure. You are a proficient tumbler, and you make your way, picking across the iron bars to the center of the cage. Excellent. Koibu, you see 6 more gnomes appear. How do you feel about
I told you
this?
there were extra gnomes. There's always more gnomes than you need. This is fine. No regrets over leaving this one to die. I was trying to find something clever to do. So I'm gonna, seeing that these panther cats are dead here, and knowing that Ren hasn't acted yet or is like next up to move, I will take a look at her and point with my sword towards the owlbear and say, "Are you ready?"
Sure. Let's go for it.
Okay, cool.
I have
If you
no
will
idea
take
what's
the
gonna
owlbear
happen.
with me, then I will go towards the owlbear.
Oh my god, you are brave.
I will walk up to the very front of it, and I will ready a block attack while I try to like draw the owlbear's attention to me. Maybe
think-
actually coming around to the side or something.
The owlbear's over by the cage, right? Or,
Is this
or am
not
I
the
looking at
giant
wrong
owlbear?
This
cage?
is
Oh,
the
okay.
owlbear right here.
Okay. Oh, it's a different cage.
Yes.
It is.
Oh, I
Owlbear
see.
token.
I see what's going on. Got it.
You gotta
Got it.
scroll up, Brian.
Yeah, there's too many damn cages. See, look at all these animal This gnome deserved to die. So many cages.
So I position myself on this side of the owlbear, so hopefully Ren can like sneak along on the backside. I will ready myself a block, so when the owlbear comes for me, hopefully I live. And I am readying the block against its bite attack, which I think is more dangerous than its claws. I don't actually remember as a human being,
Okay.
so that's
It
what I'm
definitely
going
is.
for.
Bad. It is bad.
Yeah, but sometimes claws are surprisingly damaging. I think on a saber-toothed tiger has better claws than it has bites.
Really?
0 sense.
Yeah. Anyway,
All
that's
right.
my action.
That is your action. You prepare a block attack. Ren, what do you do?
Right. I will run forward.
What are you doing?
And I shall attack the owlbear, I guess.
All right, please roll to hit. You can see that it is weakened and has AC 13.
And a miss.
All
Nailed
right.
it.
Excellent. The owlbear goes. No one has struck it. It now has targets in front of it that it can attack.
Over here! Over here!
And it responds. It decides to attack you.
Your mother was a chicken!
Oh! It raises its claw attack to hit you.
Your father was a sun bear, the dumbest type of bear.
Its first claw attack scores a 16.
No dice.
The second claw attack scores a 23.
Oh.
Okay.
Critical hit if it's a natural 18.
It is not a natural 18.
Woo!
It's still going. Maybe.
So you will take, oh my god, 1 point of damage from its claw. And then it makes its bite attack with its mighty beak.
Here's
That's
my
what
block
matters.
attack. I need to score a roll against AC 16 in order to
16.
block
Okay.
it.
No, but you need to roll lower than it.
Yes!
So,
Okay,
That's a
so
16.
I will block.
And the beast scores a 16
I think
total on the, like,
Oh.
it's a
Misses
modified
them.
Oh, well then it
Just a
misses, so
miss.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Great.
All right, excellent. You knock the creature away with your attacks.
right?
That is initiative, everyone. Please roll in for me.
Little help!
Oh my, the
That's actually decent
owlbear is
initiative.
ready to go this time.
Ranger! Ranger!
1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. So, the first to react, Koibu, you are locked in deadly combat with this thing. What do you do?
What are you doing,
It has
fools?
too many attacks. This blocking is for the birds. I'm just gonna stab it.
All right.
Yeah, so I will bring my arming sword as a thrust towards its gut.
The 13 matches its weakened AC.
Nice.
And I will drive it halfway down the blade.
All right, yes, your blade sinks in, it pulls back, blood pours out in a gout near you. The creature screams at you in its eagle-like manner. Ah!
Oh my
Ren,
god.
what do you do?
Do I get a back attack if it's facing Koibu?
It is
From this
facing
side?
Koibu. We can't see facing because I just pulled this out of the book.
Right, no, I'm
It's
just,
not a proper
asking.
token.
I like this
Wait,
one.
wait,
I like that.
There we go.
Upside down. Do I get high ground if it's like this, though? Okay, let's go.
+2 to hit, yeah.
16
that'll do
then.
it. Yeah.
Okay. 5 damage.
5
Okay.
more damage. 5, 9, 14. You have effectively bloodied the creature, and it screams once again in pain. The owl bear will continue its onslaught against you, Koibus. It rends with its claws, scoring a modified 22.
Ay, ay, ay. Oy, oy, oy.
Goodbye, cruel world. I'll come back with the spear next time.
Oh, I'm changing dice. It rolls a 1.
You gotta put it in the punishment corner.
It's going in the
comes the
punishment
bite.
corner. It is. It rolls a modified 17.
Oh, Neal.
Modified
18?
17 does not hit. I have
This
AC
Does
18.
not hit you. Oh my
5
goodness.
from chainmail, 1 from
And
dex,
then
2
it
from fighting
rends
style.
at you with its beak and a modified 16.
Yes.
You are tanking this owlbear.
Tanky
I've
wizard.
eaten 3 attacks and you still are 4 out of 11.
Because I keep rolling ones.
What on earth? Holy shit.
Gnomes, you are up on the cage watching this owlbear rend at the tank wizard. What do you do?
I pull out my sling, I spin it around, and I sling it.
All right.
And
Sling it.
I'm above it, right? And it's a 4-legged creature.
You can
I think
have
that
high
counts
ground.
as. Well, I think it counts as back attack more than anything else. Think about it.
I'll give you high ground for it, but I won't give you back attack. It's
You don't
not
get
that
high
hard to
ground
back
on
from
missile
you.
weapons, but a flank.
I'll take it. Okay, I'll take a flank. Yeah.
Yeah.
Flank is fine. Yeah.
So a +1 to hit here.
You don't get high ground on missile weapons?
No, of course not.
21.
that rule, though.
Let's
All
go.
right.
That's a critical hit, my friend.
That is a critical hit. Please roll me double damage dice.
Oh, you damn right I will.
7.
Oh my god, that's more damage than I've
7
dealt
points
all
of
game.
damage. Excellent. Your slingstone flies true, wounding the creature. Rook, you see your companions locked in this deadly combat.
Shakes his head. These fools, and Rook will. I will charge to save the day. Which,
Oh, thank god.
leaping on the creature's back, and driving 2 swords in. Oh my god!
Oh, you crit the creature.
D12s.
I'm not gonna.
Arming swords
use
do
Neal's
D8 against
arming.
large.
I'm not gonna
He's
use
wearing
Neal's
a
arming.
longsword.
I don't have arming
Oh, yeah.
swords. I bumped from the
Nice.
player's handbook. A product sword. I'm gonna go ahead and roll 40 12s.
Oh my god.
Oh, Lord.
Oh my
25
god.
damage. You fell the beast. A flurry of steel and screams and limbs, and the beast is dead.
Rook, yes!
Right,
Oh my
charisma hero that no one wanted, but
Very good. And so you are now left pretty much alone. The handlers out here in the back of the carnival lie dead in front of the cages, torn to shreds by the beasts that escaped them. Zephyr the Magnificent was mauled to death by one of the escaped leopards. It's just
Shame.
you here.
such
Wait,
a.
I leap off the thing. I quickly run over to Zephyr the Magnificent to go and steal his spellbook and his gold and whatever else he's got.
You look for his spellbook, but you do not find it. It appears his spellbook was not with him.
Does he have a key or something, like
has-
to a house?
There's no key on his person, but he does have a bundle of 25 gold pieces, as well as 2 rings on his fingers that you
yeah.
saw glow with magic when he ensnared the beast.
Magic gnome ring ×2. Thank you very much.
All right.
I take it there's no point in checking in general, like NPCs or dogs, because they don't bleed out; they just immediately die. Yeah.
The NPCs are dead.
what we were
The
doing.
dog, I think, was brought to exactly
Brought to
zero.
zero.
he's
Brought to
okay.
0. Yeah. Mhm.
And so it is like wounded to the point where it will not be able to fight, but will eventually come back to
Its
consciousness.
its buddies are licking its wounds.
Yes. So
I just plop down against those crates near me and take a nice long breath, and then I try and peel back the chainmail and look at my wounds and poke at him with the stick.
Koibu! I come back over. That was so amazing. I can't believe you didn't die.
Shakes his head. That was brave. Incredibly stupid, but brave.
There's a fine line between bravery and stupidity, and I think I crossed it.
It worked though. You distracted it, and then Rook killed it.
Yeah, whatever.
Nice. I want to go up to this cage and look. Is there any of the feed that I saw in the boxes in the bottom of this cage here?
This cage is kept fairly clean. You see where there has been like obvious marks of sweeping as if by a broom, and shovel marks. The cage itself is relatively empty. It doesn't have any feed or dung, or there's a few feathers and like dust kicked into it from the fight here. Most notably about the cage, the bars have been rent in twain by the strength of the creature.
Wow. Does the owlbear also have a rash?
It does indeed.
Yeah.
Almost a third of it crawls over the haunches of the creature, starting from somewhere in its
point
back.
this out. Look at the horrific rash on these creatures. They
They
must have been kept in abhorrent conditions. That Zephyr got what he deserved.
They seemed enraged. It could be magic, Rook.
As you have time to sit and inspect this rash more closely, you are brought to attention a wound in the back of its haunch where the rash seems to be spreading from. It is a strange shape, almost like an open spiral of some kind. It is a puncture wound. It seems relatively fresh and is definitely not something any of you have given this creature. Almost centered in the spread of the rash.
Could I make a healing check on it to see if anything was injected in there, or if it was poisoned, or what I think it might be?
I think that there's nothing wrong with that. Why not? You begin inspecting the creature with your knowledge of nature and of medicines. How is it that you come to your knowledge of whether or not it was poisoned? How do you inspect the creature?
Well, I think in general, you said it looks like it was punctured, right? And in general, if something was punctured and is not as big as a dagger or something like that, it might seem reasonable that something has gone into the blood flow in some way, right? You don't need special knowledge for that if you're a healer. That it might be poison for that. I mean, it might be a giant stinger or something, right? There are huge insects as well, something like that inject poison through stingers. So it might be something like that. Because I doubt syringes are a thing, but might be poison from a stinger.
All right, go ahead and make me a medicine check. 24. You inspect the wound, looking for traces of a substance applied to the creature. And while all of the things you said ring true, you find no evidence of some foreign substance other than this rash. It does appear to come from the puncture wound itself, or at least the puncture wound is centered around it, almost as if the rash grew from the spot. But you do not see any evidence of a foreign substance or poison applied.
The spiral, is it the exact same shape as Malchus's sigil, or is it larger, smaller, different?
Make me a religion check, please.
What is religion? Anyone got that? Check.
Wisdom 0? Wisdom?
Yeah, wisdom 0.
Well, I might actually do it.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. So it'd be half that. So it'd be a
Perfect.
3. But a 3 or a 4. It's close.
So that's the difference between failing and not failing. What is your strength?
Yeah.
Your strength is 7, so half of 7 is... We'll round up. I like rounding up. It's a good way to go. 21. You inspect it, and you think that this does not remind you of Malchus. Malchus looks more like an enclosed cyclone in his religious symbols, but it is hard to tell because it's a wound on an animal, but the open spiral reminds you of a mark of Ponos, a lesser god.
Ponos. Hey, look at this. Cleric, a druid. Ren.
Mm-hmm.
A symbol. It looks like Ponos. The goddess of suffering, I think, or...
What?
The god of suffering, yeah.
God of suffering.
I will
Who
get
could
up
have
and
done
come
this?
over to this conversation.
Coibs, come look.
Poor creatures were certainly suffering.
Didn't expect to be getting nicknames too soon. Mark of suffering. Yeah, well, as the ranger said, that fucking gnome left him in these shitty cages. Makes sense to me. Maybe we should go see if that gnome has any markings. And I will go over to the gnome. Is there anyone else near the gnome?
There is no one else near the gnome, I believe. Although that's not necessarily true, right? Yes, it is, because Gnomon was frisking him for wealth, but now has walked off. So you're all alone with him.
Okay, cool. If there's no other NPCs around, I will start looking for any markings on the gnome, any symbols, any similar anything. I'm happy to lift up shirts or open shirts and look down them or whatever. I'll stay away from the loins region.
You stay away from his crotch, but otherwise examine thoroughly the
if he's got a mark of suffering there, then he's suffered enough, is all I'm going to say.
You look for any symbols of suffering upon the gnome, and you do not find any. He does not carry any iconography of Ponos or of any religious deity upon his person. The only identifying things he has are his big cloak, which has, the symbol of the big top tent on it of the carnival, but his skin is unblemished other than by the claws and bites of the panther that he was mauled to death by.
Does he wear any rings, anything that would identify him, something that if I came across his family I could give them and be like, this is yours?
He did have some rings on his fingers at one point, but they are now in the pockets of Gnomon.
I wouldn't notice those.
He is wearing a particularly fancy set of clothes, including that big cloak.
I will take his cloak with the intent on returning it to his family or something in order to see. What was this gnome's name?
Zephyr the Magnificent.
Zephyr's cloak, gnome-sized.
Hey, Koibu, do you know where he lived?
No, but I'm sure someone in the circus does. Doesn't look like he was married. I inspect his hands. Does he have tan lines over his left ring finger?
He has tan lines over both of his middle fingers, as if he had worn matching rings there.
Middle fingers, though, but not
yes.
wedding ring finger. Okay.
Not on that one.
Well, he probably just lost his rings in a game of cards or something. I make no concern over his lost rings and take his cloak, fold it up, put it gently in my bag underneath my spell book, which is all else that's in my bag. And did you know him? Was this a cousin of yours?
Just because we're all, you think all gnomes are related?
Yeah.
No. He was in the town though from time to time. I think he ran the festival. I met him when I made the donation.
What donation?
I paid for a lot of the festival. I stole the money from a rich merchant.
Oh.
I told her that's the first thing I said when we met.
To be honest,
the story I told.
It was kind of quiet. It was far away. I didn't hear it.
You were right next to me on the stage.
It's 5 feet above you. It's a great distance. Sound doesn't travel vertically as well as it does horizontally.
Okay. I guess.
Sorry. I'm just grumpy. I got beaten up by a big cat.
It's okay, Coy, but you've had a tough time.
Yeah.
Good
job with that sling, by the way. Well done. That was a pretty fucking solid blow to the head.
Hey, thanks, buddy. More than you did with that sword.
Was it worth all the character points?
It absolutely fucking was. I love it.
So
I will walk back at a slower pace so that I can keep pace with the gnome as we walk back.
Nice.
And I'm collecting some old owlbear feathers before we leave.
Absolutely. Oh, fuck, cat whiskers. I need cat whiskers for spells. I go over here and I start whiskering the cats.
Actual cat whiskers or elven cat whiskers?
Actual cat whiskers.
Nice.
You can achieve 7 of cat whiskers undamaged.
Score.
I also need cat whiskers. I don't know. I'll get some off Neal later. Yeah.
All right. So you have had an opportunity to examine these beasts and the gnome that ostensibly was in charge of capturing them. what do? What is the party's plan here as you're licking your wounds from this battle?
Well, it sounds like Koibu wants to find the guy's family. I want to find out where he lived. I want to find his spell book, see if he had any other valuables that I can steal. I mean, this guy's clearly rich. He owned the festival, so that puts him right in my target demographic of people to steal from. So I feel no shame in this.
I think we need to find and talk to Cassius, because he's like, he seems to be like the representing person through most of this festival. And I think it would be really bad if a panic was to break out, right? Like, this is a pretty bad situation. So I think we should handle this quietly at first and just, make sure there's no panic breaking out or anything like that. Because it's, after all, supposed to be the great festival of the year, and people are supposed to enjoy this. And it shouldn't be like a great tragedy that is, causing a giant panic.
If we tell the Lord, though, won't he be mad? Maybe we should wait till tomorrow.
Who cares if the Lord is mad? That's not our problem. Like, we didn't do anything wrong. This festival has clearly had a problem. Its founder or main funder or whatever he is dead. A whole bunch of the wild animals have been slain. Clearly things have gone wrong. There's no need to try and hide the truth.
I guess, but he's probably wasted by now.
That's a good reason to wait until morning.
I'll try to find him and make that judgment.
He'll be at the top table with Drexel, probably. We go over there and we tell them this, Drexel will take over, and this won't be our mission anymore.
So what mission?
I don't know, it was really fun. We killed all these things. We're like a real venturing party. We're going to be famous.
Yeah. I look to the ranger. Hey, you said there was something wrong with these animals. Is it just bad mistreating, or is this mark of suffering like a real thing?
These animals look really sick, magically so. I think Rook is looking around for like signs of where these animals came from. Didn't they tell us they were freshly caught?
Yeah. Caught the evening before as the festival was arriving.
So we can't see the tracks they were brought in on.
You begin investigating around looking for tracks, though. You do see the kind of wheel marks of carts. It seems wagons have visited this place quite often. It's kind of a staging ground of some sort for the carnival itself. But as a ranger, you quickly find footprints leading awkwardly to the cages, but not from the same direction as the carnival and the rest of town. There are footprints coming from out beyond into the plains.
Okay, I'll point. So I think I was probably initially looking to be to try and figure out where these animals were brought in from, so that maybe we could track them back to the source and see if there was some source of the sickness there.
I guess I'll walk over to see what Rook is doing.
You walk over. If Rook can point them out to you, it becomes fairly obvious that you can find footprints. There are many, many sets of prints here, but it does seem that there's some arriving from beyond the carnival, from out in the plains.
Ren, Coibs, come and look at this. Look what Rook found.
What is it?
Footprints, a mystery. A mysterious third person, not responsible for feeding and looking after the Albers. These tracks, we must follow them. This will lead us to the answer, to our next adventure.
I think we should still inform the partygoers before we leave for these tracks.
What if we grab one of these random folks here, have them relay the messages for us? And then we can go follow these tracks. You
mean one of the dead ones here? No, I will take care of it.
No, there was a whole pack of gnomes that arrived. There's 8 gnomes that showed up.
I'm turning around. I'm leaving this behind. I'm walking to wherever I think Cassius is.
Druid! We could use some help!
Koibu, you're wounded. Maybe we should...
Sorry, what was going on? What did the party decide to do? So real quick, point out these footprints that are around the cages, and it looks like someone was tampering with the cages, and the tracks lead off into the plains somewhere.
It does look as if they come from and leave to the plains. Yes. Yeah. You've pointed them out to the party. Nomon seems, and Koibu, I believe, seem to be interested in following them out into the night, while Ren is determined to return to Lord Cassius of Steepwater to report what's going on.
Look, we can't.
Sounds like a plan.
Help.
We'll split the party.
I need some hit points. I'm wounded here, guys. I'm wrecked. That druid... I don't know if druids can heal, but they heal animals. And humans are animals too, so it's possible that druid might have some healing for me. So I'm going to follow the druid, and then we'll follow these tracks. I'll follow the tracks later. Noam, you with me?
Yep, let's go.
Ranger?
All right.
How's your dog? Is it okay?
Yeah, I'll go tend the dog.
Do you need help carrying it to the druid?
I
don't know how you carry a dog.
You pick it up.
Well, usually in your hand.
Pick it up and carry it.
I shake my head at him. I go over here and I get the top of this box that has been pulled off, and I drag it over to the dog so we can place the dog on a flat surface.
Get away from my dog. My dogs bite, Koibu.
I'm not going to touch your dogs if you don't want, but it just thought it might be nice to have a stretcher for the wounded animal.
I pick the unconscious dog up in my arms.
I sit on the stretcher.
Yeah.
I drop one end of the stretcher on the ground.
Oh. I'm by this time already at the main tent is my guess. Well,
all right. The party eventually makes their way out from behind the carnival. You see that almost all of the city that is still awake and doing as night has come to fall upon your first day here is in this big tent, oohing and awing. There seems to be some kind of show for them, but you begin to make your way out to the manor home of Lord Cassius of Steepwater, sitting high in the kind of more merchanty noble district of the city. You make your way there and are greeted by a sharply dressed manservant, always wearing a three-piece suit. Although this one seems to be young for a servant, at least one as smartly dressed as this, in his early to mid-20s. He bows at your arrival and says, welcome to the Steepwater estate. What can I do for you?
Right. If you could tell your master that Ren's here to see him, I would very much appreciate that.
Of course. Follow me in. I shall bring you to him at once.
That's why walking through the house, I want to whisper to Rook. I say, Rook!
I think Rook is not here. Rook went to tend to his dog.
I whispered to Ran
to a shack in the woods or something. And
Rook wanders off to a shack in the woods. Excellent.
Don't let Lord Cassius throw us off the job. Don't let him give it to Drexel. This is our job. We found the tracks. We killed the animals.
Don't worry. I don't intend to lose this one.
Woohoo!
All right. You are led by this head servant into the estate. You wind through it into kind of like a bedroom and quartering district, like where a part of the estate where people sleep. And you see him knock patiently on the door. No sound comes from it.
Oh no.
It appears my master may not be in. Give me a moment. And he takes a key from one of the many on his key ring, unlocks the door, pokes his head inside, looks around, takes a little candle off the shelf, holds it in. Seems my master is not in his room at the moment. Perhaps I shall find the Lady Jasmine. She should be able to talk with you for a moment. And he begins leading you farther in. Eventually, he leads you to a hallway where there is quite a commotion of servants, and you see a weeping Lord Cassius on the ground, holding what appears to be his daughter laying on the ground.
Is Lady Jasmine his daughter?
Yes.
And is Lady Jasmine the one that was like fawning over Drexel earlier?
Yes.
I'll start running. Like, does she seem dead, or does she seem like there's still medical attention?
You run up to her,
head?
and you see that her chest rises and falls, and she can breathe. But as she lays there in the arms of Cassius, he's like inconsolable at the moment. She's usually considered quite the beauty of the town, right? Normally, her dark curly hair kind of frames cheery hazel eyes and a bronze complexion. But now she is like pale and withered. Her skin takes on the like pall of age and of wrinkle. Her breath is ragged, and she just seems completely catatonic. There's no like recognition of other people. Her eyes staring blankly up ahead, though you can see her chest rise and fall, the slow and inconsistent but their heartbeat is felt on her wrists.
Ooh, okay, but this doesn't seem like she was actually attacked. It looks like a curse or something. Is that what you're saying? Because she looks aged.
One of the other servants turns around and says, "I heard nothing except her fall. When I went in, I saw her like this in front of the basin."
Of the basin.
Yes, he points, and they're standing near a door into kind of a washroom of sorts. There's
right,
a
like whatever you do not touch that water. That's in the basin, okay? Do not touch the water.
It's sudsy and inviting. It smells of lavender.
I don't care. I'm gonna check on her and make sure whether she's stable or not. Or whether it seems like she's actually getting worse. You know.
You begin
just to interject really quickly. Sorry, I'm gonna sneak off whilst everyone's distracted.
Okay.
And come back to me later. Yeah.
Okay.
If you have 10 rings when you come back, someone's gonna notice eventually.
Nomon, you sneak off and get through the estates by yourself. It seems that the commotion here is the perfect cover for you to be off on your own. Ren, you begin giving your ministrations medical attention to Lady Jasmine.
Right. I'm like pulling off like skins and furs from myself, right? I'm like unbuckling belts. I'm taking off skins and furs. I'm putting them on her to keep her warm, right? And like put one underneath her head. I'll tell one of the servants to like take care of the Lord in the meantime, you know. And I start like taking care of her.
Mm-hmm. You find her to be medically stable. She breathes. Her heartbeat is there. She seems to be somewhat in a state catatonic of some kind, and the deathly pall sits upon her skin.
Mm-hmm. I can like so I'll have the servants, you know, turn their back mainly so she can have a little bit of privacy, and I'm gonna like strip her down as much as I can and try to see if I can find any markings on her, like, you know, either like another mark of bonus or like anything that indicates where this might be coming from. Or if it's like, you know, if she has anything on her mouth, like is she foaming, or I'm looking at her tongue, like the color of her tongue and stuff, right?
You begin looking for medical illness, and you really do not find anything medically wrong with her. There's no mark or blemish on her skin, other than the like unnatural kind of aging and mottling and wrinkling that has happened to it. There is nothing strange in terms of markings on her body. She's simply dressed in a like simple nightgown, although simple for a lady of the manor is probably quite elegant, and a single pendant rests around her neck of a bright white pearl. But other than that, there is nothing really else on her.
We've seen her earlier today. Was she wearing that pendant?
You did not remember seeing that pendant on her at the carnival.
Right. And so I assume, so I do live, like, I've been like living here for a while, and I do assume since like the festivities were starting and everything, that I would have seen her around. So I can assume that someone who's wearing a pendant, like when they're in their nightgown ready to go to bed, that's either something like they are always wearing, right? That you don't even take off. Or like something you would like not put on yourself, or something that you at least treasure very, very much. But I've never seen this on her before, right?
You have not. No, you rack your memories. You do not remember having seen it on her.
I'm going to take it off her.
Okay. You do. It's a bright, beautifully white pendant, but as you take it off her, there's no change to her condition.
Right. I'll wrap it in like a fur and tell the people absolutely not to touch that one. And I look at is Koibu here, or did he go off with the gnome?
When you had all the servants turn away to give you guys a moment of privacy, I would have like turned with them and then talked to them to try and ask about what sorts of things they had seen recently, when the last time she was seen in company of other people, those sorts of questions.
Well, she was out in the bar, well, not the bar, but the festival with all the others. I believe she was spending most of her time with the great hero, Drexel. In fact, before the great festival, they arrived here at the manor together. He escorted her here himself.
Who was the last person to see her, or she was found like this?
I do not know. It could be any number of us servants. We are often out in the halls tending to the manor.
Would you mind asking around who the last person was to have seen them? We're going to talk to some of these other people. We might be here in the manor. We might be out in the main fairgrounds. We might be with Drexel himself. But find us and give us this information as soon as you can.
Absolutely.
And then I think this is now when Ren pops up.
Sure.
Yeah, so I would, after having dressed her again, and when she's, decent, I'm gonna let the servants know that she's stable for what it looks like. That we'll have to figure out what it is later, but that she's not gonna die tonight. That things are quieter now, and that I'm gonna look at Koibu, and I'm gonna be like waving towards the bathroom, and I'll say, come with. We gotta have a look at this.
I awkwardly walk with you to the bathroom, and when I get there, I go, "I'm not a girl, you know that, right?"
Was she in the bathroom or was she in the bedroom where she collapsed? I figured it was a bathroom.
She was near a washroom. You're standing near a washroom with a standing.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just
and a
inviting me
subsidy
into a random bathroom, and I was very confused. Okay, got it.
I'm
Just makes way more
saying
sense.
Okay. Oh, sorry. I thought you actually figured it out, but we assumed that she collapsed in this bathroom.
Right. Sorry, my mistake.
It's fine. So shall we have a look?
If she collapsed in this bathroom, I look around the bathroom. Is there a toilet in here, or is it literally just a bath?
It's more of a washroom than a toilet.
There's a basin filled with water.
There's a basin filled with hot sudsy water. There's a standing mirror. There's a place for these like nice velvety, like almost towels to be stacked in a corner. It seems to be a nice room. It's lit with kind of like these small glowing stones in either corner.
But not like there's not like a bath or a shower in here. You would not get undressed in this room to do the washing up.
You could, yes. Like when I say a basin, I'm not meaning like a bucket. I mean like there's a
proper
large
basin.
standing trough, a big basin.
Okay. So I take a quick look around the room. I look for evidence of what she might have been doing here. Are like shoes kicked off in here? Is there like a sash or a belt that might have been taken off? Is there any sign of her having started to disrobe in here?
I suppose. Yes, there is a sash that seems to belong to the nightgown that she was wearing that you find discarded on the ground near the standing mirror.
I go over and take a look at it and pick it up, and I hold it before Ren. This is what she was, this matches her nightgown, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So either she was about to get in the bath or someone took this off of her and left it here, which doesn't make much sense to me. So if
she didn't have wet hair or anything, right? She was like...
No.
Okay. Anyway, what were you going to say?
Is it water to just like...
The water's sudsy?
It
I don't think...
Someone,
smells of lilac.
She must have sudsed it. You don't just keep sudsy water lying around. She must have been
Is there
cleaning
anything around here that you would use to,
You inspect, standing in the corner near the like towels is a kind of nice lilac oil and in a small like kind of glass container, as well as some clear soap in kind of boxes next to it.
Well, so she must have put this in, but she didn't make it to washing herself because she was not,
Right.
there was no water on her.
When you inspected the body, did you see signs of like swelling on the head? Did she fall and hit her head, or were there other signs of injury? Any bruisings?
I mean, they heard somebody fall, so I guess, Greg, she did fall, right? Like
She did fall. You hear the servants tell the story of how they heard a fall and came to see her like this. As you inspected the body earlier, like maybe there was a small bruise or something where she fell, but there's no obvious like major head injury. She didn't bash her
Is
head
there
on
a window in here?
There is. It is made of stained glass and doesn't open or close. The glass itself is not broken or removed in any way.
So the only obvious way of entering in this room is through the doorway.
Seems that way, yeah.
Or underneath the doorway?
Right. But the door frame is the one entrance egress mark. What time of day is it?
You have arrived in the manor into the evening. You were taken back behind the carnival towards sunset as the festival was about to end, and now you are full on in the.
But like we haven't
here.
had dinner yet, basically, right?
I mean, you spent all day at the carnival where there were eats and food and drink and anything available to you whenever you were hungry.
Okay, but if there were to be a formal dinner that a noble family would have, we're still before the formal sit-down dinner, or are we after the formal sit-down dinner?
I don't know the formal dinner times of nobility, I guess. I didn't anticipate that. My guess would be that you would eat before sunset. That seems reasonable to me. So I'm going to say that you're after formal dinner time in the manor.
Okay. So she wasn't coming in here to wash up for dinner. She wasn't coming in here to like prepare for some event that was coming next. If we're at the end of the day, then this was probably an arrival to like clean up and get ready for bed, is what I am getting the impression of.
So it has to be either the necklace she was wearing that was given to her before and then, had some sort of effect after a certain amount of time, where they were sure that she wouldn't be out in the open, visible to everybody, possibly by herself in bed already. Mm-hmm. Or it had something to do with actually this liquid over there.
Look at the basin, and I look to you. I look at the basin, and I look to you. And then I reach my ungloved hands into the basin.
I slap him. What are you doing, you idiot?
Trying to see if it's the basin that caused this effect. And I see one test experiment to do.
You dip your hand into the warm, sudsy water and make a saving throw versus death. No, you're fine. The water is warm still, although you think that whatever heat it had has kind of dissipated. It's like that lukewarm kind of feel.
Right. Still,
the smells of lilac, and you pull your hand up, it's full of suds, but otherwise nothing sinister otherworldly happens to your hand.
I like rub some of it on my face and say, if I fall, you're gonna catch me, right? Let me hit my head.
Sure.
You suds up your face. It feels good. You smell nice, but otherwise nothing happens.
Is her face wet?
I don't think so. I think it must be the necklace then.
I go over to the towel and dry my face off. Fold the towel, put it back nicely. Well, I think we should.
Cassius finally get to his senses as you are toweling yourself off, and his booming voice rings out in the hallway. Bring me the cleric of Martha! Quickly, Jeeves, go! And we'll bounce over while you hear this ring out to Goemon, or Nomon. You have snuck off into the manor somewhere. What is
my plan?
Do we want to break before the final time? Or do we want to go through until the end?
Good. Yeah, why not?
Either's fine by me.
Yeah. Sounds good.
See you guys in a few moments. Bye-bye.
All right.